Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about beard growth. Now, I'm actually on a beard growing protocol. A lot of people don't realize that these are even a thing, and I wanted to talk about that. But before we get into it, my disclaimer, I am not a doctor, I'm not a chemist, nor do I pretend to be either one of those things. I do not encourage the use of any drugs, substances, or supplements, legal or illegal, and this video is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. So, first and foremost, there is Minoxidil. Minoxidil, I always mispronounce it. It is typically used for people who are experiencing male pattern baldness. They do have it for women as well, and it is typically applied to the scalp for hair growth. Now, it is not only used for the scalp, which is important to note because many people like me, I used to have an extremely patchy beard. These 2 points used to not connect. I don't think I had anything here. So I've been trying to work on it with adding Minoxidil and rolling with microneedler. Now, people say that microneedlers, when they're in roller form, aren't as good because they go in angled and come out angled. I think you could. I don't think that's a decent argument because the ones that they used in the study were also rollers, I believe, and they were just 1.5 mm in length, so 1.5 millimeters. And so basically what you would do is you would have like 1 day a week where you do rollers without any minoxidil or anything. And then it's easy as put the minoxidil where you want it on your face on all the other days for where you want hair to grow. You could do the rollers once to twice a week or whatnot, but you don't want to do them on the same days because minoxidil can go systemic. You don't want it in your mouth, and you don't want it to end up in any of the microneedling holes because they can create micro cuts, or small cuts, I should say. I don't know why I said micro cuts. They can create small cuts, and minoxidil can enter the bloodstream directly, which is dangerous because minoxidil can have strong side effects in certain people who take it directly. Now, there are people who are so resistant to minoxidil that the only way it works, I've heard, is for them to take it orally. But this, for the majority of the population, is 1, not necessary, and 2, not a good idea because a lot of people experience side effects from taking it directly. But topically is perfectly fine. So there's like the cheap ones you can get from, Costco. It's the Kirkland brand stuff. And the Kirkland brand stuff is usually, I think it's like a 6-month supply with a dropper for like $11. But the thing is, it will dry out your skin, at least in my anecdotal experience, I should say. It dried out my skin heavily because of the oils they used and the fact that they didn't use any sort of thing to make sure that it stayed moisturized. Now, I use Rogaine, the foam for my beard to help it grow long, and it works wonders. I mean, there's a lot of people who have genetic propensities to either have a beard and go bald or either have a thick head of hair and a patchy beard. There are people who have both, but it is typically one or the other, especially when they get into their older ages, is when it starts to present itself for losing hair, because some people will have a thick head of hair and a beard, and then they'll lose all their hair by the time they're 40. But it's typically one or the other, so I have very good hair genetics. I don't think I've ever shed any of my hair from anything except maybe a little bit of stress, but overall, I just have a high hairline, always have, and I have a huge forehead. But other than that, I mean, I have very thick hair, and that's just the way I've been since I was little. And I've had no shedding, but the thing is, I've always had a very patchy beard. And so I've been trying to improve it by microneedling on the spots that I want to grow and by adding the minoxidil. Now, there's also ketocortisol shampoo, which is shown to improve it. But the reason why you want to do the minoxidil and the microneedling together is because studies show that if, not on the same day, I just mean in conjunction with your protocol, because, like, in the same week, I should say, is because it has been shown that people who do not show a response to just minoxidil alone, when microneedling was implemented on days without minoxidil, like I'm saying, like on maybe you take Sundays off to do microneedling and you don't do minoxidil, it has been shown that it can increase the effectiveness of growing out beard growth and hair growth exponentially. And a lot of this was done in scalp studies, so there is that to recognize, but the same mechanics, because it's not necessarily androgen derived, correlate in the beard. I am not extremely well versed on the pharmacokinetics and dynamics of minoxidil, but I personally, anecdotally, have noticed great results, and the studies show that it actually has pretty decent results for men trying to grow their beards out. So that's pretty much going to be it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and if you're on Rumble, please hit the Rumble button. Remember to keep those shoulders back and down when you lift, and until next time, I hope everyone has a great one.